Hello my dear students. So in the chapter of recursion we are going to perform this much programs. This is the practical list for the recursion and we are going to practice each of them. We will start with the first two practicals in this video lecture. So in this lecture I am going to print 1 to 100 numbers using recursion and A to Z alphabets using recursion. So for that let me first open my IDE. So I'm opening my IDE, Ctrl+N. So the new project is running, new source file is running. Now inside this I'm writing include stdio dot h, then int main. Now here return 0, right? So this is very common. Now first let me write this program without using any kind of function or recursion. So if you are not using any function and if you want to print 1 to n number, how you can print that 1 to I is less than or equal to, the practical is 1 to 100 but I am starting with 1 to 10. Just you have to just add a 0 to make it 1 to 100, right? So for that for simplicity I am starting with 1 to 10. So now inside this what we are going to do, printf %d then slash and then you are going to write the value of I, right? So here semicolon, let me save this program, compile it and run it. You can see 1 to 10 is printed, right? So this is the program without using any kind of function or recursion. Now what if I want to write this program using function, not recursion but function. So I have to create one function void name as say PR and I'm not giving any arguments. So here I can just copy this code or cut this code and paste it over here and inside this I'm just calling PR. So here this is function definition and here inside main I'm just calling it. You can see that this is fourth kind of function in which there is no return type and no arguments. I'm just calling a function without giving any argument or without passing any parameters, right? So this is what about the function calling. Now inside this you can see it is having I is starting with 1 and go till 10 and printing the value of I. Let me save this program, compile it and run it. You can see it is giving me similar output. But this is called this program is implemented using function, not recursion. When it is called recursion, when this PR is called inside the function definition itself, at that time only we can call this as recursion, right? So this is not the recursive program. So what changes is to be done in order to make this program recursive? So this will be same. So function calling will be same. Inside main the code will be same. But whatever changes we are going to do is inside the function definition, right? So what I am going to do, I am declaring one variable int I. Right, after that I am going to check if I is less than or equal to 10 or not. If value of I is less than or equal to 10, then I am going to print the value of I by this expression, right? And after that I am incrementing the value of I, otherwise it will go to the infinite loop. So if you are not incrementing or decrementing or changing the value of iterative variable, then your program may go to the infinite loop. So let me show you how it goes. So here after that I'm going to call PR again. So I hope you guys are understanding what I'm doing. First I have created this variable. Now I'm giving initial value to this as 1 because I will start with 1. Every time it will check if I is less than or equal to 10 or not. If it is, then it will print the value of I and again call PR. So it will be series of looping, right? So again PR is called, when PR is called the control comes over here, it will print the value of I, check the condition, print the value of I, again call PR and similar way until I become 10. But here right now if I just run this program, it will go to the infinite loop. Why? You can see it over here. It is just printing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You can see it is printing 1, and once the memory is full or stack is full, it will show me that the program is executed, right? So it is not giving me these desirable output. It is entering to infinite loop. Why it is happening? Because i's value is never changed. After printing I have to change the value of I by incrementing it to 1. So here what was the case? Without using I plus plus, every time value of I was 1, so the condition is true. So every time it was calling PR and printing value 1. Even if I am running the program after adding I plus plus, I am not going to get any desirable output. Let me show you that even if I am adding I plus plus, it is going to infinite loop, because what is happening over here, I want to make you understand that, right? So what is happening over here, the program execution starts with main. After that it will call PR. So the program execution comes over here. It will create one variable I. By default it will be having automatic storage class, and it will put value 1 inside variable I. Then it will check that if 1 is less than or equal to 10, yes, so the condition is true, so it will going to print the value of I, that is 1 right now. Now it will make I equal to 2 at this stage, right? And at the same time it is going to call PR. So again the control comes over here. It will again create one variable I and put value 1 inside that, because by default automatic variables is having garbage value. I am initializing it to 1. 1 is less than or equal to 10. Again printing 1. I plus plus I become 2, and this will go to infinite loop. So which storage class is to be used in order to persist the value which I possess, right? So here if I am writing static, that means every time it will remember that what was the previous value of I inside this function. So what it will do, now let me show you that if I save the program again and compile it and run it, you can see it is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what is happening over here? First the value of I was 1, initialize at 1. It will notice that this is the static kind of variable. So I have to remember its value. So after that I will check if 1 is less than or equal to 10 or not. Here 1 is less than or equal to 10, condition is true, so it will print 1 over here in the output, right? You can see the output over here. Now it will make value of I as 2, I plus plus, that means now the value of I is 2. It will save this value and again call PR. Now again the same function is called. Instead of creating the similar variable again or declaring the similar variable again and assigning value 1, it will just use this previous value I equal to 2, right? So now it will just skip this stage and it will directly check if 2 is less than or equal to 10 or not. Yes, so condition is true. It is again printing 2, and then it will make value of I as 3. It will remember this value, again call the PR function. Instead it will just skip this line and it will just check if 3 is less than or equal to 10 or not. And this is how, until it encounters I's value greater than 10, it will just print the value of I, right? So this is how you can write a program to print the value 1 to 100. So now to add a print value from 1 to 100, you just need to change the condition. So inside this I am just changing it to 100, and you will see it is successfully printing 1 to 100 over the screen. Now what changes is to be done in order to print A to Z. So here to print A to Z, I need to take character data type I, which is initialized as A, right? So I am going to print A. You can also take capital A's as well. Now I can check that if I or less than or equal to say Z, right? So I am going till Z. Instead of D, I am writing C, because for characters I have to write C. And I am just saving this program, compiling it and running it. You can see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K up to Z is printed, right? So this is how you can write a program in order to print some values on screen recursively. This is called recursive function because we are calling PR function inside the function definition as well. But as you can see that the terminating condition is very important in case of recursion, otherwise your program may enter into infinite loop. So this is how we are going to perform this program. Now in the next video I am going to tell you that how you can perform the other practicals as well, and we are going to perform those practicals. I hope you enjoyed this class and understand the concept of recursion. If you have any doubt, you can comment below the comment section and ask me. See you in the next class. Thank you so much.